Pollinator is anything that moves pollen from one flower to another. Usually it's insect, but for example, wind can do it too. So in the insect world, most often it's bees, but it can also be butterflies, moths, flies, beetles, a wide variety of creatures. All of our food, we have pollinators to thank for it, as far as fruits and vegetables go. The reason we have apples and cherries and peaches is because a pollinator moved that pollen from one flower to another. Even stuff you wouldn't associate with pollinators, like carrots and radishes and celery, to get the seeds to grow the carrots and radishes and celery, you need a pollinator to move pollen from one flower to the other. So the fewer pollinators, that has potential to disrupt food supplies and that sort of thing. Plus, keep in mind, all these trees that are around us, while several of them are wind pollinated, there's several that are also insect pollinated, and so, our tree populations will decline. Different kinds of plants naturally occupy certain ecosystems. For those plants to perpetuate, somebody has to pollinate them. They're the ones that keep the ecosystems running. What makes a good pollinator habitat? You need food and you need shelter. Let's say you want to try to start your own pollinator habitat either at school or at home or grandpa's house or wherever. I wanted to kind of show you how we do it here, and we'll start over here. I realize this just looks like a big dirt patch. We spent about a month preparing the space because what was growing here was just a bunch of nasty stuff like Japanese honeysuckle and autumn olive and invasive things. So we worked very hard to get rid of all those bad things. We did a lot of tilling in here, and then we plant seeds of the good stuff. And here in a couple weeks, we'll be actually planting little individual plants of the good stuff in here as well. So you might be asking, okay, what's the good stuff? All right, so we're going to step over here on the other side of the trail and check out the good stuff. So this right here is just a couple years old. It doesn't take that long. In 2 years, we've got a very functioning space here. This plant right here, this is butterfly weed. It's actually in the milkweed family. So monarch butterflies, they'll lay eggs on this and the caterpillars will eat this. Milkweed though, it's not just for monarchs, because all butterflies love the flowers of milkweed. They're wonderful nectar plants, so we get all kinds of butterflies that will visit the milkweed. This is wild bergamot. It's in the mint family. Once again, everybody loves the flowers of bergamot. Insects, people, everybody loves bergamot. It doesn't necessarily have to be pretty things. So for example, all these wonderful grasses right here, believe it or not, there are butterflies whose caterpillars eat grasses. And so for example, our common wood nymph population here has exploded in the last 5 years because of all these wonderful grasses that we've planted, because that's what their caterpillars eat. Do you think we mow our grass? No, we don't, because then we would be chopping up all of our caterpillars, which you don't want to do. So we just let the grasses grow. And I realize maybe some of you, live in neighborhoods that have rules that you can only do certain things. Well, maybe you can find just a little 10 square foot space in the backyard that nobody will see, and you can let the grasses grow a little bit longer, or let the clover grow and not have to necessarily mow it all the time. Because believe it or not, there's butterflies that actually lay eggs on the clover, okay, that you're probably mowing regularly. So once again, it's just a matter of thinking like pollinators do and planting the things that they like.